training camp in full swing for all 32 NFL teams. Let's get into some camp storylines. We're going to start with Terry McLaurin, holding out of camp in Washington, looking for that new deal. His quarterback, Jayden Daniels, spoke on the matter earlier today.
I mean, I would talk to Terry like if he was here, just checking up on him. But at the end of the day, that's just a relationship we have on and off the field.
Do you think there's concern in the locker room about the situation, or just it's business in the NFL?
It's just business in the NFL. You know, we know Terry's working. We don't really have to worry about him doing any of that. But, you know, at the end of the day, he's still one of our brothers.
Lewis, seems like Jayden doesn't think it's that big of a deal that Terry's holding out, but do you?
Yeah, I do, Laura. I think every day missed is detrimental. Look, Jayden Daniels is in his second year in the NFL. I know he's sitting up there, and you look at the guy and you sit there and you go, has this guy been playing about 8-9 years? Because he just looks so mature and composed and under control. But he's in his second year, and this is his number one wideout, and he needs the reps with him to continue to grow and become not just a Pro Bowl level player, not just a guy who was knocking on the door of the Super Bowl, but a guy who can be an MVP candidate. They've knocked it out the park with him. Keep his best people around him. Get Terry in there, agree on a contract so they can continue to grow. It's an exciting time in Washington. You don't want to derail that train in any way.
Yeah, I agree. McLaurin way too important to that team. Check out this tweet from our Commanders reporter, John Kime. Seems like all still good at Commanders camp today. Jayden Daniels' first pass in 11-on-11 dropped an over-the-shoulder dime to Deebo Samuel on a slot fade. Tyler Owens right there, but the throw beat him. So good stuff out of that Commanders offense. All right, another camp storyline involves Matthew Stafford and the Rams. Lindsey, what's the latest on Stafford as the Rams camp opens up?
Yeah, sure. Earlier last month, Matthew Stafford was in Hawaii, gripping it, ripping it, playing some golf, but reports to training camp has a sore back. So I'm told that he will be off to the side doing some work with trainers, and then it'll be kind of a modified entrance into those practice drills. The Rams, though, really aren't concerned. When I first heard this was concerned, 37 years old and a back issue. How does that get better as you ramp up? But they have told me do not be concerned for Matthew Stafford. They expect that when the season comes, he'll be ready to go. And in fact, even if they were starting the season tomorrow, they said he wouldn't be on any sort of injury report and he'd be in there. So they're just using a caution with their 37-year-old, 17-year veteran quarterback.
Can't have camp storylines and not include the Cowboys. Jerry Jones and Micah Parsons had a fun little back and forth this week regarding Parsons' looming contract extension.
There's nothing new about what we're talking about here today relative to contracts. That's been going on a long time. Now, you say, well, if you don't get him in, are you going to lose the first two games and then go on to win the Super Bowl? Well, we'll take that. Just because we sign him doesn't mean we're going to have him. He was hurt 6 games last year. We've signed, I remember signing a player for the highest paid at the position in the league, and he got knocked out 2/3 of the year, Dak Prescott.
When you go around the league and you see these other teams taking care of their best guys, I see TJ got taken care of, Max got taken care of, Miles got taken care of, and he got 2 years left on his deal. So if they don't want me here, they don't want me here. I'll go about my business. I understand the nature of the business. Like I said, as long as I'm here and under contract, I'm going to do what I have to do to perform at the highest level. But if this is the end, this is the end.
Woo, you noticed that hype man Trayvon Diggs was next to him. Look, what do you make of all this in Dallas?
Well, it's unfortunate, but here's the crazy part. I think this thing, if it's going to end, it's going to end on Jerry's term. Nobody's talking about this. He's playing on the fifth-year option this year, Laura, but they can actually franchise him the next 2 years. They control his rights, not only this year, but for 2 more years. So any deal that's done right now is probably going to be a team-friendly deal, and nobody is mentioning that right now. And I think if you're Micah, he talks about if this is the end, well, the Cowboys control the end because they have your rights, not only this year, but for the next 2 more if they want to franchise you.
Yeah, man. Lindsey, you're jumping into that fray in just a couple days. You're headed to Oxnard after you leave us here in Bristol, and we're going to be talking all about the Cowboys on Saturday with our Back Together Weekend special on ESPN and ABC. But you were in Dallas last year when Dak was awaiting the new deal. What did you learn from that situation that may inform this one?
Laura, I can't wait to get back there because it is so fun being a reporter at the Cowboys camp because it's unlike any other camp you'll go to because there's Jerry talking over there, and then Jerry says something, and then you go to the player, and they let the players talk, right? We see Micah Parsons. He's in the middle of a contract situation, and he is out there talking with reporters. But this is what the Cowboys do. This is what they embrace every single year. Dak, it was the same thing a year ago. Walk up to Jerry. Hey, Jerry, when's this going to end? Oh, he's not concerned about it. And so you take this situation, and Jerry's unbothered by it. Micah, obviously, a little more. He needs his money. He deserves his money. But the one thing that tends to be the case around there is that everybody knows come time for the season, the deals do get done, players do get paid. It's just this entire circus vibe, for lack of a better term, when you go to training camp there, and that's what they love about the Cowboys. That's what Jerry loves about his Cowboys.
Yeah, I'm sure, Lindsey, for reporters, it's their dream. And you're sitting there going, look, I'm getting sound bites everywhere. But when you're just talking about, like, from a pure football standpoint, like, this is just dumb. Like, this whole thing just feels so dumb and unnecessary and manufactured. Like, let me ask you this. Who talks about the fact that, well, you know what, made the quarterback the highest paid player in the league, and what happened? He went out there and got hurt. Like, Dak tried to get hurt. Like, it's football. Of course there are risks associated. Like, why are you even bringing that up as a way to kind of like say, hey, look, these are some of the reasons why I kind of like maybe keep my cash, in my pocket when I have to pay these guys because I'm worried about them getting hurt. Well, no kidding. It happens. So that means that now you're using that, at the same time when you're really talking about Micah and people are asking you, why haven't you struck a long-term deal with him? And why is one of the most explosive, game-changing players in the league, who plays one of the most impactful positions in the league, literally having a press conference with reporters on the field talking about the fact that if they don't want me here, if this is the end, are you kidding me? Like, what is that? Like, why is that even why are we talking about this with Micah Parsons? Only because the owner has created this kind of situation, which leads me to believe this. For a guy who has won Super Bowls already, is that really what your number one priority is? Because all the other teams that are winning Super Bowls now, they don't do this. And I don't remember this kind of thing happening back in the days when Jimmy Johnson and Michael Irvin and the guys were there. I just don't remember this kind of thing. So I don't get any of this. None of it makes sense.
Go off, Lou.
Yeah, no, I think Lou's right. Like, nobody understands it because every financial advantage that you get as a team happens when you pay the players earlier. Just look at what Philadelphia's done. They draft, they identify, they pay their guys, and they get all the cap savings. But Jerry has decided, not once, not twice, he did it with Dak, did it with CD, now he's doing it again with Micah. Like, this is the way he does business. And when you're a billionaire and you own the team, you can do it your own way, regardless of whether we like it or not. I just think that we have to open our mind up because we automatically assume, we say this every time, and so far it's happened, he's going to pay him. He's going to pay him. I just throw the question out there, guys. What if they don't? What if they start the season and Micah Parsons has not been paid? Like, he can't just quit. He can hold out, but he's going to get fined. Like, the CBA is set up in the owner's advantage right now, where if you're Micah Parsons and you're going into your 5th year with those 2 franchise tags looming, like, you got to show up and play, or else you're going to cost yourselves a lot of money. So I just think that at some point, we can't just automatically assume, just because it's happened in the past, that Jerry's just going to pony up. For whatever reason, he has decided not to. Hopefully that doesn't continue. Hopefully it doesn't happen because I think Micah deserves his money.
Hopefully that is not the case, right? Hopefully, as we all laugh about this, Micah Parsons does get the money he's earned and deserves. But with Jerry, this thing has just shifted into pure entertainment. And I think that's what Jerry really kind of almost embraces when you're out there, is that he has had some of these ideas with the NFL that have led to more of an entertainment league. Obviously, most entertaining would be if the Cowboys could just go back and win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, he would love that entertainment. I don't understand. Like, just pay Micah Parsons. What are we doing?